Glory to Jesus Christ. If there was ever a gospel proclamation that was just brass tacks, just distilled down to the simplest, and it says what it says and that's what it means, it might be this one, and perhaps this one is one of the most well-known, even if people don't know it comes from the gospel. It's basically this: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Isn't that, what do they call it, the golden rule or something like that? I think I remember that being called that. I think that most people who don't have any idea about the scriptures or faith or the gospel will pin that at least on Christians, especially in the wrong context. Will do unto others. You know, they like to throw shade at Christians sometimes, because sometimes they think Christians behave poorly, and they do. It's true, they do. But isn't that funny about the gospel? There are many occasions when we hear the gospel proclaimed, and even if we take just a superficial hearing or understanding away from it, it's enough. Without ever digging deeper, without ever going to the next level, we can take the superficial reading of the gospel in most cases, and it is enough to edify each of us spiritually and whatnot. The superficial, cursory reading of the gospel proclamations is enough. If I was an idiot, well, okay, let me qualify that. If I was not of reasonable intelligence, I could come and hear the gospel proclaimed, and I could hear the message from the gospel today, for instance, and come away with good advice and good instruction and good commands from Christ. Go and do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. It's useful. Now, let's get deeper though. He says, big deal if you love the people that love you. That's easy. Who cares if you're good to people who are good to you? That's no big deal. Because I'll tell you a secret, that makes life easy. If you're good to people, they're good back to you. That's like social lubricant. It makes your day easier. If you cooperate with others, this is basic social 101, social studies 101. We've messed it up a lot. Let's look at history. We've certainly not followed this rule. It's very simple. I don't know why we haven't. But it's easy to at least do right by the people right next to you, your neighbors. We do good to others because it's less friction in our day. Our existence is made more fluid because we are good to others. Basically good, generally good. It takes so much effort to wake up, some would say on the wrong side of the bed, and go about your day determined to be a problem for everyone. Now, we know plenty of people who do that. Sometimes it's us. But in general, it is useful to us to have a basic regard for others and to treat them well, so that our day won't be complicated and we can reach the end of our day and it would be basically good. Big deal. You're good to people because it's useful to you, at least on a superficial level. It's just the way things work. It's convenient. It says, lend to those who you don't expect to get things back from. Wait a minute, Father, that's terrible financial advice. Doesn't always mean money. Usury used to be illegal, lending with interest. That used to be illegal. But it's now common financial practice. We all have a mortgage, most of us, we all have loans. It's just accepted we do that. That's not what he's talking about in this gospel proclamation. It's doing good with expectations of something being done back to you, with the expectation of something that benefits you to be reciprocated. What Christ says is this: Do for others what they won't do for you. Do for others, treat others who you do not expect to reciprocate your love or your goodness or your lending, if you will, lending of yourself, your time, talent, treasure, whatever, your regard even. You're to approach everyone with such a humility, with such a humble attitude, so that you will be indeed sons of the Most High. What does that mean? You see, if we are to be regarded as sons of the Most High, we have to have something in common with He who is the Father of the sons of the Most High. That's we're supposedly the sons. That's what we want to be anyway. He's our Father. It's not just something we can do by fiat. Yes, I want to be a son of the Most High. So let it be done according to my will. If you want to be sons of the Most High, you must do these things. And it says, therefore have mercy, as your Father in heaven has mercy. It doesn't mean have mercy just because He's having mercy also. That's not what it means. It means to have mercy like He has mercy. Because He is merciful to the unthankful. He is merciful to the evil. And if you want to be regarded as a son of the Most High, you also must be merciful to those who do not deserve mercy. Because humility, the first principle of humility, is to recognize that you yourself do not deserve the Lord's mercy. How does the Lord have mercy on you? I give each of you the opportunity. Go ahead, and this is the last part of the homily, because I'll give it to the floor. Tell me the story about when you deserved mercy from God. When God had mercy on you, how many times did you deserve it? Didn't think so. I don't think everybody was just shy. We're not a shy group around here. And we have besought the Lord's mercy. My goodness, what do we say if you were to visit an Orthodox church as somebody who'd never gone there before, and people were to ask you, what did they do other than last a really long time in their liturgical services? What did you take away? Well, they certainly like to repeat themselves. They say, Lord, have mercy a ton during the Divine Liturgy or any of the services. Honestly, take any of them. We're always saying, Lord, have mercy, Lord, have mercy. It's almost like we have a stutter. We are constantly begging for the Lord's mercy. And He gives it. How many of us enter into the doorway of the church knowing that we're going to be calling out for the Lord's mercy? How many of us feel like we deserve it when we walk through that door? Myself, I can tell you, I don't think I've ever had the understanding of deserving mercy. Wanting it, yes, and feeling indignant when I don't get it, yes. But deserving it, no. I'm smart enough to know that. I ain't very smart, but I'm smart enough to know that. But the Lord commands us in this gospel proclamation, have mercy, as the Lord your God has mercy, so that you might be considered sons of the Most High. He has mercy on the people who are evil and unthankful. How many times do I return thankful after the Lord has had mercy? Sometimes. I'm not going to say that I'm always forgetful about God's mercy, but I can tell you I don't always remember to return thankful and give glory and thanks to God for when He has had mercy on me. I want that mercy. I desire it with every fiber of my being. I want the Lord's mercy. I recognize even that sometimes the Lord's mercy comes through suffering. The gift of suffering is actually mercy. That's the hardest part sometimes. If I am to ask for the Lord's mercy, if I want to be truly regarded as a son of the Most High, I need to have mercy in such a radical way that is contrary to my fallen nature. So-and-so deserves your retribution because they were a jerk, or they have slighted you in some way. They deserve your scorn. That's what they've earned. I mean, let's face it, some people are jerks, right? Me too. Sometimes I am too. They deserve nothing but scorn because, The kind of behavior that gets rewarded with people's scorn is bad behavior. But we don't give what's deserved because Christ doesn't give what's deserved. By no means does Christ dole out what is deserved, because if that were the case, we would be in a really bad place. If we got what we deserved from God, it would be nothing and we would be dead. If we truly were to take away from life what we have earned, it would be a big fat nothing. It would be a waste. There would be no point. But the Lord is merciful to the evil and the unthankful alike. So indeed, be merciful. You must be merciful to others in such a radical way. You must forgive. You must delve into forgiveness deeply, understanding what it means to forgive. It means to forgive even when there's bitterness in your heart. It means to let yourself out of the cycle of hatred and bitterness and commend others to God. It means to recognize that forgiveness is for the forgiver, not for the forgiven. The main beneficiary of forgiveness is you, the forgiver. We need to be forgiving. We need to look upon our enemies as the object of our affection. Because I read somewhere, and I don't remember, and I'm famously terrible at attributing quotes. I hope it was a Christian quote. I think it was. It says, I must remember that I only love God as much as I love the person I love the least. Think about that. I only love Christ in as much as I love the person that I love the least. Whether that's somebody that I know personally or somebody that I see as a public figure. My goodness, we're not going to talk politics, but certainly public figures make themselves easy to be loved or hated or both. How do I look upon a public figure, whether they're a famous person or a politician or whatever? How do I not have scorn for people who say dumb things? Or to say things that I find hurtful or dangerous? How do I not nurture and cultivate scorn and contempt in my heart for somebody who can publicly behave in a way that is very odious? I'll tell you, one approach is this. When we look upon anyone who is contrary, let us remember to say, Lord, give them paradise through repentance, and me as well. Because if I don't want their salvation, I don't want mine either. If I don't desire urgently their salvation, then I do not regard salvation for myself as anything valuable. We are in it together. Indeed, we are in it together. Do good to others as you would have them do good unto you. That is important. We are in this together. If we understand that we are in it together and the common good is salvation, we would hunger to have mercy as Christ has mercy. We would hunger to spread that humility, that love. The truth of Christ's existence is the humility of the cross. And mercy then would be an automatic response from our heart. If I want mercy for me, then I will struggle to show mercy to others in such a radical way as Christ does. Because he's merciful to those who don't deserve it. And the first person who deserves it the least is me. I want for each of you to recognize that to be a son of the Most High is to be radical in the mercy that you show to others. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory to God.